Let's talk about it. Whether we want to or not, something is always playing in the background of our lives, even when we don't realize it. That's right. I'm talking about your self talk. There's that little voice in our head that's either hyping us up or it's holding us back. That's for everybody. Everybody. We're going to unpack how self talk shapes our success, and more importantly, how you can become the DJ of your internal playlist. Your self talk is important. When you look at yourself in the mirror, when you think about yourself, the words that you say to yourself should be words that hype you up. Let's grab your notebook or your journal, or you can open your notes app so that we can all grow together. Let's get started. I'm going to talk about the basics. Self talk is the conversation that you have with yourself in your mind. And it often happens in those quiet moments that you make when you forget something, when you mess up, when you succeed, or when you feel nervous. So that's when it happens, when self-talk typically happens. Here's the thing. Your self-talk can either fuel your confidence or feed your fears. Which one would you like it to be? So for example, let's say you bomb a test or quiz. Do you think, oh, I am so dumb? That's negative self-talk. That's kind of harsh, isn't it? But some of us talk to ourselves like that. Like in our self-talk, we refer to ourselves as stupid. We refer to ourselves as dumb. That's harsh, negative self-talk. We don't want to do that. Now imagine if you thought to yourself, okay, I didn't do great, but now I know where to focus the next time. Doesn't that sound better? That is positive. That is constructive self-talk. Same situation, but totally different outcomes. I want you to think about that when you're talking to yourself. Because here's the thing that science tells us. It tells us that our brains believe what we tell them the most. That means if we constantly tell ourselves we are not good enough, guess what? Our brains start to act like that's true, even if it is not. So it's important that we're feeding our brains with constructive, positive self talk. And then we start to believe and start acting our positive self talk. Why does self talk matter for you as a young person? You are juggling a lot. You are juggling school, friendships. Oh my God, friendships as a teenager. You're trying to figure out who you are. And during those years, your brain is literally still building itself. So, what you tell yourself right now becomes a part of your belief system. And this is so powerful, right? Because your beliefs drive your behavior. So if you're thinking that you're bad at something, you are probably going to avoid that thing that you're bad at. So, for example, if you believe that you're bad at math or you're bad at science, the likelihood that you would want to skip your math class or skip your science class is pretty high. The likelihood that you would want to procrastinate in completing a math assignment or a science assignment is pretty high, right? The likelihood that you're not going to try as hard for those subjects, the math or the science that you believe that you're bad at, is going to be pretty high. Why? Because of that one thought that you had in your brain that said, I am bad at math or I am bad at science. But let's flip that for you. If you say instead of I am bad at math, if you say I am getting better at math every day or I am getting better at science every day, you are more likely to try to study and eventually to actually get better at those subjects. That's the power that lies in your positive self talk. And we call this self-directed growth. So when I was much younger, I absolutely hated speaking in public. I could talk around amongst my friends, fine. When I'm one-on-one with my friends or with my group of friends, let me tell you something. I can talk. Put me on a stage and it's for me, right? I hated speaking in front of my class. And that was because my self talk was telling me, I'm going to mess up. People will laugh at me. And I had no self confidence, especially when I moved here from Nigeria at the age of 18. On top of all of these, then I also had the issue of people are going to laugh at my accent or they're not going to understand what I am saying. If this is you, stick with me. Now, how did I end up coming out of all of that? I started to practice. I started to practice. And then I reached out to people who could, who knew how to speak confidently. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos. And I'm still watching YouTube videos. So I continue to improve daily. I started to tell myself, I've got something to say. My voice matters. I don't have to be perfect. See, that was the thing that broke my negative self-talk. When I realized I did not have to be perfect, I don't have to be perfect. And you don't have to be perfect either. And what I saw happen was slowly my confidence started to grow to where I'm sitting in front of you right now, or you're listening to me right now on a podcast. My confidence started to grow because I changed my inner voice. I changed my self talk. So, how do you shift your self talk? We're going to look at the power of affirmations and connections on how you shift your self talk. And here are 5 strategies for you to take control of your inner dialogue, that inner self talk, that thing you tell your brain that challenges you and tells you you're not good enough. You see, that's not what we're doing. So the first thing you're going to do is give that negative voice a name. Name it. Give it a critical a name like negative Nancy. So my inner voice, my inner negative voice, I call her negative Nancy. Don't ask me why, but she's negative Nancy. Or sometimes when I'm like super, super nervous to do something, I call my inner self talk anxious Betty. Those are my 2. Don't ask me. And when negative Nancy pops up in my brain, I tell negative Nancy, not today, not today, Nancy. We're not doing that today. So that's number 1. Name that negative voice. And whenever he or she shows up, tell that negative voice, not today. Number 2, flip the script. When you hear a negative thought, when you sense a negative thought coming up, pause and reframe that negative voice. For example, I am not good at this. Flip that to, I'm still learning this. Another thing that I offer is you could put a yet at the back of that phrase. So you could say something like, I'm not good at this yet, as we continue to practice, right? Number 3, you want to create a power phrase for yourself. So I want you to write down 2 short affirmations that you could say every day. My 2, and you can use mine or make up your own, is I am enough and I got this. Those are my 2. I am enough and I got this. Now, for you, you could try I am enough. You could take that. I do hard things. You could take that as well. And I grow through every challenge. So you could use any one of those 3, or you can make up your own. Number 4, I will not stop emphasizing this. Practice gratitude daily. Positive self talk is easier when your heart is grateful. So I want to encourage you to start or end each day naming 3 things that you are grateful for. Number 5, check your circle. Check the people that are around you. Check your circle. Surround yourself with people who speak life into you, who speak life into your goals, who speak life into what you aspire to become. Because what you hear from others can become what you say to yourself. So surround yourself with people who speak life into you. It's your turn now. Here is your challenge for this week. I want you to keep a self talk journal. And every day, I want you to write down a moment when you notice your self talk. Just write down. And then write down what you noticed. What were you saying to yourself at that moment of the day? And how did you feel about that particular self talk? If that self talk is negative, I want you to rewrite that self talk into something that is more empowering for you. And I want you to do this starting on Monday all the way through Friday. And if you want to level up, say your new self talk out loud in the mirror every morning. Speaking it out loud and hearing it is something very, very powerful. Now, it's going to feel weird at first, but I want you to trust me on this. Your brain is listening. Your brain is listening and it is rewiring. I want you to remember something. You are not the mistakes you made last week. You are not the voice of fear in your head. You are growing, you are learning and become. And that journey is so worth celebrating. So be gentle with yourself and speak to yourself like you love yourself. Love yourself, love on yourself. I'm Dr. Kemi, and I'll see you next week as we continue leveling up together. Until then, keep growing and speak life to yourself. You've got grace. You've got this. See you next week.